Okay. All right. Hello everyone and good afternoon. My name is Oluwaseun Ajayi and I'm a former SoReMo fellow. I was a SoReMo fellow in the fall of 2022 and in the semester then my SoReMo project was on the forecasting and case study modeling of COVID-19 in Chicago, a data-driven approach. So as part of the SoReMo requirements or project requirements, one key part is the technical report. The technical report captures the details and even the summary of the SoReMo project of each individual or team. So basically today I want to talk on how to prepare the formal SoReMo report. And this is the outline. So basically we want to check what are the SoReMo objectives, SoReMo report objectives, what is the structure of the report, and what are the formatting tools that we use. So in this talk, I'll be talking about using the Markdown, how to create the Markdown files. Also, for preparing the reports, you want to consider how to prepare the bibliography and then have the in-text citations. Then lastly, I will try to show a demo of how to prepare a report using the RStudio Markdown application. So the key idea of the SoReMo report objectives is that the SoReMo report is to offer a high-level executive summary of the project because the project comes from students from different backgrounds like sciences, engineering, mathematics, humanities, different areas. Even some people come from the design or architecture. So the first part of the report is for non-experts to be able to understand the summary or the high-level summary of the project. What is the project about? What issue does it want to solve? Who are the stakeholders? So in simple description, we want to have the executive summary well written in the report. And the second objective of the SoReMo report is to have the technical aspects of the project. So basically for the technical aspect, this is for people who have domain knowledge or who are experts in the field. So the executive summary is for the non-experts and the technical aspects of the report is for the experts or the informed readers in your domain for your project. So what's the structure of the report? Like in the previous slide, I talked about the executive summary. So what do you want to have in the executive summary? We want to answer three questions: the why, the how, and the what of the project. So basically, we want to know what is the project about? What is the title of the project topic? Why did you choose the project? What interests you to do the project? So this captures what the project is about. And also, we also want to know who are the stakeholders or participants for your project? Who are involved in your project? Do you involve a certain group of people? Do you involve maybe a certain community of people? So who are the participants and what is the scope of the participants? Do they have a certain knowledge requirements or do they have certain education background? So we want the executive summary to capture the stakeholders, the participants. For example, on the project talking about the spaces, we want to know who are the stakeholders, what are their categories, how do they participate in the project. For the games for disabilities or people with disabilities, we want to know why do we have people with disabilities in the project? What is their participation about? Then also we want to check what are the key findings of your project in the summary now. What are the key findings of your project? What makes it interesting? How is it important to us and to you, and even to social justice or equity? Then the second part of the report talks about the technical details. So the technical details here, you can have as many pages as possible in writing your technical details. But for the executive summary, I want to mention that basically it should be roughly between 1 and 2 pages for the executive summary, because it's a summary, right? And it's most important for non-experts to understand the key idea of the project. But for the technical details, you can have as many pages as possible, but it must capture important key details, which include a project timeline. So starting from the fall semester, for example, how did you define your milestone for each of the objectives you want to achieve in your project? And what is the context in which you apply your project? The other student who is working on the Chicago healthcare related research, his project here is targeted at Chicago, and it can define the context. What are the sets or categories of healthcare centers you want to consider in the project? For the spaces, what is the context? What class of people or what class of events you want to consider? For the games, what types of games you want to consider and why for the people with disabilities? And also for the technical details, you also want to write about the data, qualitative data, quantitative data. You want to describe the features or the attributes of the data. You want to maybe use some figures to demonstrate, to illustrate. It's also important in your technical report. And then you also have the analysis, or some people have experiments, some have maybe discussions, depending on what type of project you do. So the hands-on analysis is also important. In fact, this is where you present most of your findings using visualization approaches or methods, maybe charts, plots, graphs, tables, figures, and whatnot. And you also have your conclusion in your technical report. So basically, the executive summary and the technical details are the key parts of your technical report. And of course, for every good report, there's also the bibliography section where you have the references of all the sources online or academic papers, titles, journals, conference papers, whichever source you use to assist with your project. And then some reports have the appendix section. This is not the case for every report, but some reports have the appendix section, which includes additional information like analysis, figures, tables, and codes, which you cannot directly present inside the technical details part of your report. So in writing a report, you can want to know why don't you have, or why don't you use the word writing tools, the one that is easy to use, like the Microsoft Word. For example, the Microsoft Word is easy to write. You click and drag, you click some buttons, you get some formatting of your text. You click some button, you can insert figures, and you can do all that. But for the markdown, for the SoReMo report writing, we want every report to have the same format, and that is why it is required, or why I think that is why, but that is what I think. So why they want us or the students to use the markdown for the formatting of the reports. So for the markdown, there are writing techniques of how to format your plain text documents. So what is the markdown? The markdown is a markup language. For some persons, they know about the HTML, hypertext markup language. So it's a language that helps or defines how you want to format your plain text documents. So it's not hard, it's easy to use. For example, if you want to write the heading of a part of a section in your report, there is the hash sign that you append before the heading title. Like I show here, if you use the single hash sign, the heading will be bigger. And as you increase the hash signs, like you use 2 hash signs, you see the size of the heading reduce. So basically, the hash is for defining the font size of your text. So if you see 3 hash, it's going to be even smaller in font than what you have here. Then another example is, how do you write your text to be in the bold format? You know, in the Microsoft Word, you just do the Control B, right? Or you go to click the bold button on your Microsoft Word. But here, since we are writing or formatting by ourselves, we use the 2 asterisks before and after the text to make it bold. And there are some other formatting styles or formatting techniques. For example, how do you put italics for your word? How do you underline? Those ones also have different ways of doing the formatting. Okay, so next is, why do you use the markdown? Like I mentioned before now, why don't you use the Microsoft Word documents or use some other graphical based applications to write your report? So I mentioned we want the formatting to be unique and uniform for every report. So, but before that, or far from that, in general, we use the markdown to create websites. Some people use it to write presentations and technical documentations like we are doing for our SoReMo report. So another good thing about the markdown is that many applications support the markdown formatted text. So it's not restricted to certain application. So it's a universal formatted text format, document format that you can run on any application. Another good thing is that the markdown formatted text can run on any operating system, Windows, Linux, and several others. So another thing we want to look at is getting started with the markdown. So I kind of was at some point last year when I was to start to use the markdown, I was trying to be discouraged a bit because I never used it before. For example, for most of my paper writing, for my research, I use the LaTeX formatting format. Yes, LaTeX. So I write using LaTeX, and in the LaTeX, I already get used to the way of defining my paragraph, defining my heading, writing equations, inserting a figure, everything I already know. But now, to do the markdown, I was a bit challenged. I thought it's going to take me a long time to learn how to use it. But in fact, I see that the markdown is very, very simple. In fact, it's even simpler than the LaTeX I use. And the good thing is, if you are using LaTeX before, you can move your documents in LaTeX into Markdown. It's super easy. So I thought the best way to become familiar with the Markdown is to use it actually. If you start to use it, you become more familiar with it and even more comfortable with it. Another good thing is for your Markdown application, when you use it to write your document, you can generate the document in HTML format, in Word format, or PDF. So you can download your written document in Markdown as a HTML file, or a Word file, or a PDF file, depending on which format you want to download. So the thing here is, how do you start to even write in Markdown? So there are 2 approaches, the online and the offline. So I'll start with the offline. So the offline simply requires you to download a Markdown application. There are several Markdown applications, but for for this SoReMo report, and also on the SoReMo website, the recommended one or the one they suggest is the RStudio. So basically, you can go online, download the RStudio application on your Windows or maybe Linux or OS, and once you download the application, you can be able to start to write and get your SoReMo report in the right format. Another strategy, which I think is even easier or even simpler to use, is the online Markdown editor. For example, the Delinger. So the Delinger is an online Markdown editor where you can just write all your reports online and download the report or the HTML file or the R Markdown file. So there are basically 4 steps or 4 parts of using the Markdown. So you have your Markdown file, you open it using the Markdown app, you generate or convert to HTML, and you get the output on the web. And this HTML can also be PDF instead or Word instead. So it's super easy. And here I'm also going to show us how to create Markdown files. So the option 1, which I talk about, is using the Delinger online Markdown editor. So you don't have to download anything. You just go to the delinger.io, and this will take you to the online editor to create your report. So once you open the website, you have a blank .md document ready. So every file you write in Markdown is saved as a .md file. .md, that is .markdown. So .md document or .md file is what you get. So once you open the site, you just start to write a document using some simple commands. I give example of the heading. You can also check about how to do other formatting. And in fact, the good thing also is that on the delingo.io site, you can have some examples of some text formatting. And also on the Delingo, you can import, preview, export, or download documents that you write in Markdown as HTML or PDF. The second option, which I used for my SoReMo report, is that I downloaded the RStudio application. So the RStudio application is an open source software that you can install on your computer. And from the software, you can create a .rmd file. So the RStudio is an application used to create a .rmd document or RMD file. So once you open, I'm going to show you a demo later. Once you open the application, you start to write, and when you write and you want to see the output of your document, there is a button. It's called the knit. So once you click the knit button, it will generate you an HTML file. Or if you don't want the HTML file or HTML output, which will be displayed on the web, you can generate a PDF format. And to do that, you just change a line of code from HTML documents to PDF documents, and you use the knit button again. So you can read this, but I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about. So the last part is how to create bibliography and citations. So in fact, some reports, I think I saw some report. I'm not so sure, but I think I saw one report some time ago whereby the student did not properly fix the bibliography and citations in the SoReMo report. So, but it's not difficult. It's really easy. And I'm going to show how to do that. So there is something we call the bib text. For every article online published, there is a bib text for every article online. So the bib text contains all the key information about the paper you want to cite and include in your bibliography section. So for example, I use my SoReMo report that was published as an example to show you here. So, for example, my SoReMo report that was published, the title is The Forecasting and Case Study Modeling of COVID-19 in Chicago, a Data-Driven Approach. So to generate the bib text, the first step is to go to Google Scholar, insert the title of the paper, right? As you can see in the step 1 here. After that, when I search, it gives me the step 2 you see here. So when I search, it takes me to step 2. When I see step 2, you can see the paper and the abstract of my paper that was published in the SoReMo journal this year. So from step 2, you go to Cite. There is a Cite button below. You click on Cite. When you click on Cite, what you see is the step 3. So the step 3 will give you the opportunity to generate the bib text. So you click on the bib text in the step 3, the black arrow here, and then you get your step 4. So for the step 4, you can see that the article has an ID. In this case, the ID is Ajayi 2023 forecasting. So that's the ID to use to cite the paper in your SoReMo technical report. I'm going to show example. So the ID of the paper is Ajayi 2023 forecasting. You can see the title in the bracket. You can see the author, which is me, the journal, so socially responsible modeling, computation and design, which is the SoReMo journal, the volume of the article, the number, and the year it was published, 2023. So this information is your bib text, which you need to generate your bibliography in your report, and also can help you to have your citation inside the technical report. So how do you insert citation in text? So assuming that you are writing a sentence and then you want to cite the paper you used to get that information in your report. So like for example, after I get the bib text of this paper, which is my paper in this example, right? The paper has an ID or a key, which is Ajayi 2023 forecasting. So when I'm writing the report, let's say the sentence I'm writing is the current COVID-19 pandemic, which was discovered in Wuhan, China in 2019. And then I have to put the source of that information. So the source of that information, that's the paper I get the information from. So to cite the source, I will just put the key or the ID of the bib text of the paper, which is Ajayi 2023 forecasting. So when I do that and I try to check the output you get is the second line you find here. You can see it's already put the author of the paper and the year it was published. So this ID will reference or map to this name and the year it was published. So this is for the in-text citation. And when you do this, automatically you get your references, your bibliography automatically at the bottom of your report. So another thing I want to talk about is for every paper you use as a source or a resource in writing your report, you can copy the bib text of each paper. This one, copy each of this for every paper in a notepad and save it as a .bib file. So for every article you want to cite, copy the bib text, paste it in a notepad, and save as a .bib file. So with the .bib file, you can automatically reference or call the references in your report. And I'll show an example when I'm doing the demo. So now let's do a quick demo of how to format the report using the RStudio application. Like I mentioned, you can use the online application, which is the delinger.io. That's even easier for you, but I'll show you the RStudio application for the formatting. So if you want to check more information, you can access these links, and also I will also share this slide to everybody. Probably we can be able to post somewhere and everybody can have access. Thank you very much. So let me show us the demo of the R Studio and how to format the report using my report as an example. Yes, so just a moment. Mm. Okay, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Not yet. It's still on the thank you.
PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Let me
Yeah.
check. Uh, how about now?
Okay, I can see now.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yes, thank you very much. So here you can see so when you want to start to create a document on our Studio Markdown document, you can just go to here, go to File, New File, and then you can have the R Markdown. Okay, so when you have the R Markdown, it's open this source space for you, this workspace for you to start to write your report. But for the SoReMo report, actually, there is the template provided online, which I'm going to show you in this. How to access the template where you can edit, so it's make you have easy. Uh, it makes it easy for you to write. So, for example, this is my SoReMo report, and you can see I have the title of the report here, and I have the author, which is me, Illinois Institute of Tech, the email address, my email address, the subtitle of the report, Fall 2022, SoReMo Fellowship, final technical report. So all these ones, these are called the header files or header functions. So all these ones you have to write. It has to be included in your report. So these are the header files or header functions you have to include. So next, for the report, okay, 1 second. Here, you can see for the bibliography, I have my biblio.bib. So my biblio.bib file is where I put all the bib text that I want to use for my citations in the paper. So I can open that and show you. Can you see it? Can you see my screen? The notepad? Can you see my notepad?
But it's still on the R Studio.
Oh, still on the R Studio? Oh, okay. I need to share the entire window, I guess. Okay. Let me show you. Yeah, so basically you can see this is my deep tech, my mbiblio.vib. So here I put all the papers I want to reference in this notepad. You see that? You see everything I include here. So this is the big text I generated from the Google Scholar for every article I want to cite in my report. So I then proceed to include that in my markdown file, which is this line. So everything I put in the bib file automatically can be referenced by calling this line. So you can see the first section is the abstract. And you can see this is just simple plain text. You can write this by writing the way you write in Word, right? It's just simple writing. But that's why I said the markdown is simple and easy. You only need to pay attention to how to style your text, how to format your text. So this abstract is going to be written in a bold font. I mean, in a larger font, in a big font. The font size is big because what? I included the hash, and it's just one hash I have. Next section, introduction, is also a main section. So in your report, the main section should have a bigger font, like the abstract, like the introduction. You can see the font is also a big font because I have one hash sign. And you can see an example here. The in-text citation I talk about. After I write this sentence, I put the source of the information. So the source of the information is gotten from this paper. But because I have the big text, I just include the key of the article, you see? So this one will automatically give you the source of the paper. Here is another example. In-text citation. Here is another example. In-text citation. Right? So another thing I want to talk about is when you finish writing a section, like the abstract, for example, you give a space before you enter the next section, introduction. And for also writing a paragraph, if you want to create a paragraph, after you finish writing a paragraph, you give a space before writing the next paragraph. You know, so this is after you write a paragraph here, you also give a space. So a space is what you use to separate a paragraph. Yes, so now let me show you how to output your report. So assuming you've written the abstract and introduction part, and you just want to see, oh, let me see how my output look like. So you go here, you can see the neat. You can knit to HTML, knit to PDF, knit to Word. So let me go to the HTML. So I want to output in HTML. So go here, just click on it and click on it. Can you see my screen?
It's our studio.
Oh, still our studio? Okay, can you see now?
No, still no. No, yes.
Yes, yes. So this is what you will get. So you can see the title, the information about the report, my affiliation, then every section I write, every main section I write will automatically be included here. So you can see the abstract I write, you can see the font size is big because it is the main heading, is a main section. Also, the introduction is a main section. And you can see the in-text citation I talk about. This is the article that was cited. You see that? So with the bibtext key, the key of the bibtext for the article will automatically generate the paper that was cited. You see that? Every in-text citation automatically added, see? And you can see the introduction part also is in the big font because I use the one single hash to write the heading. And like I mentioned, if you want to create a new paragraph, just give a space and you have a new paragraph. Here is a new paragraph. Here is a new paragraph, right? So, assuming I already finished writing up to this point, right? Now I want to create a table in my report. How to do that? I'll show you. So to create a table, this is how to do that.
You are still on that report file.
Are you seeing the markdown file now?
Yes.
Yes. So after I write up to this point, now I want to create a table in Markdown. So to do that, it's a bit, it's different from what you expect, but it's also easy. So basically, the idea is to include this line of code. The only thing you need to pay attention to is you need to create an Excel file, but in CSV. So this is an Excel file, but the format is in CSV. So basically, this acronym, the CSV file, is the table you create in Excel. You know how to create a table in Excel. You put the code. Each column has a title or a heading and the values, right? So once you create the Excel file, acronym.csv, you just include everything here is the same for you. For you is the same. But you have to change the caption. What's the caption of the table? In my case, this table is the list of acronyms. So for you, it can be maybe something else. So you put a caption, and then each column in your table, for example, this table has 2 columns, and each column, so it has 2 columns, and I format each column to the text in each column to be justified to the left. So basically when you write in Microsoft, you can put your text, format your text to be on the right, in the center, or on the left, right? So when you write in Microsoft, you can make your text to be centralized, or to shift to the left, or to shift to the right. To align, you can align your text to be left, center, or right. So for this one, I want the text for each column to be left. So this L, you can see you have 2L here. 2L means 2 columns that exist in this CSV file. And L means left. The texts are shifted or aligned to the left. The first column aligned to the left, the second column aligned to the left. If I put a C, that's center. The first column aligned to the left, second column aligned to the center. If I put a R, that means one column is on the left, the second column is on the right. And if I have 3 columns that I want everything to be left, I'll just add another L. Add another L, and that will become 3 columns. If I want 10 columns, I will have L 10 times. And I can change any L to R if I want a particular column to be right, or if I want another column's text to be left, or center C. So next, you see here another section is the related works. This is also a main section in the report. So the related works part is about other papers or articles that have tried to implement something similar to what your project is about. Then you can see it has so many things for me. I have so many related works. Then also is the methodology. The methodology is another main section in your technical report that you can include. Now let's see another thing. Here you can see this is the main section, right? Then under methodology, we have a subsection. So you can see the subsection. I include 2 hash signs before I write the title of the section. So let us see the results in this setting. Let us see the results. Why there is the difference. You can see, so this is the table I talk about, the table I show you. So you can see there are 2 columns. The first column is acronym. The second column is meaning of the acronym. And the L I talk about, L means every word in the column should be aligned to the left. You can see every word is aligned to the left. If it is center, it will be in the center, maybe somewhere here. Somewhere here again. So then the next section I talked about is the related works. It is also a main section of your report. And then methodology is a main section of your report. Then under methodology, I have a subsection. A subsection here is the probabilistic graphical models. So under methodology, I now start to describe what are the main techniques I implemented for the project. So I described this model I implemented, and under that, there is also another subsection, which is Bayesian networks. We also have another subsection, data clustering, subsection, time series forecasting. Now, if you check, you can see that the subsection is not included as part of the list of contents in the paper or in the report. So the list of contents includes the main sections in your report. The subsections are not included here, but they are included in the paper as you write it. So after this one, we can now check the bibliography. My report is a lot. Yeah, so so here is the references. So the references is automatically included in your report. Once you start to include the in-text citation, the references start to generate by itself because you already included the .bib file in your markdown script, which you are writing. So these are the list of references for my report. You see? Yes, so that's it about the R Studio, R Markdown formatting. I'm going to show you where you can get the template for you to start to practice and write your report. So let me show you. Okay. So go for you to access the template, just go to the SoReMo website, go to resources. Under the resources, you can go to resources for presentations and reports. When you come here, you can go to technical reports. Here you can read about what you should include and all that. And here, oh, 1 second. Oh yes, sorry. So basically, you come to here, you go to the resources on the web page, then you come to document links, yes, and technical report information. So to download the template, you download the .rmd file. So let me do an example. Let me download this RMD file for you to see. So you can see I already downloaded the SoReMo report template. Now I'm going to open. So you see, when I open it, this is what you get. This is what you get. This is the template that you get.
It's not showing.
Oh, sorry. Yes. So can you see now? So when I open it,
Yes.
this is what you get. And if you try to show in the HTML format, this is the output you get. Let me show you. I know you can see. Can you see?
Yes, I can see.
Oh, okay, good. So this is the output you get, right? When you download the template on the SoReMo website, this is what you get. So you can see the abstract. So you can start to edit each section, like I talked about, and also have your subsections So another thing I think I will do is I will include the header part where you have the title, the title and your affiliation information, so that it can be easy for everybody to start to use from there. But this is basically what you have as the template. You can start to edit. Yes. So next, I'm going to show you what is going to be the when you submit your report to SoReMo, how it is going to look like when you check online. After your report is published on the SoReMo journal, you want to see how will it look like online for people to see. So here, let's go to the journals. I'll use my own as example. View publications 2022 here. So SoReMo report 2022. So here is for some students. Oh, sorry, this is spring of 2023. Oh, okay, this is my own. This is my report. So when you check online, this is what you get after your report is published. You can see this is what you get: the abstract, the introduction, the related works. Each section in your report appears here. You see? Experimental settings. You see? The results and discussions, everything included. The conclusion included. The references, see, included. So the good thing is when you use the Markdown document, Markdown formatting application, and you submit the report, it makes the job even faster and easy for the journal to edit, polish the formatting, and upload on the SoReMo journal page. So this is another report. This one, I think they recently added this 2023. Yeah, this one. Yeah, so this is another student. Here is his SoReMo report. You see each section appear here. And the good thing is, for your report, when it's published, it can be easily found on Google Scholar, or someone can get your report online for reference. For example, let me search this report online. So if I search this report online, let's see what we get. You can see. So let me put on the Google Scholar. So I want to check this report. You see? So this report is already available online, and you can access the deep text on Google Scholar by coming here, click on the site, the deep text, and you can have the deep text for this document. So this is the key or the article ID for your in-text citation. So I here already illustrate the steps for the referencing, the report formatting, deep text, and that's all about it. Let me know if you have any questions.
Hi. I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but I missed it. But what style did you use for the SoReMo formatting? For the reports? For the reference report? I mean, is it Chicago
APA.
style, MLA,
I
or
think it's the APA style.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, so for the template, I will talk to Professor Petrovich for us to edit it a bit and update the template online for you to be able to download. But I already show you the link to access the documents. So I will, before next week, it would have been updated so it can include the important header information,
Okay.
like the
Can you
title.
drop the link
Yeah.
on the chat for me?
What?
Can you drop the link on the chat?
Okay, sure. The link for the template.
I mean for the R Studio.
Oh yeah, to download it.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, sure. 1 second. So I'm dropping it in the chat now. Just a moment. Yeah, I sent it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
This R Studio is only for the reference, right? Not for that
No, the
coding.
R Studio is for the formatting, everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you download the R Studio, you can be able to open any Markdown file.
Okay.
Yes. So when you download the template on the SoReMo website, you can open it using the R Studio application on your computer.
So I should click this number 2?
Yes, number 2, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So once you click number 2, just install it, and then you can be able to open the template for your report to start to edit.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you have any questions, just send me an email or contact me.
Sure.
Or professor, yes. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I'll stop sharing and I'll try to stop the recording now and provide the recording through some medium. Thank you very much and have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.